In January 2012, technical members of the ARCOMEM team converged on a small room at the Internet Memory Foundation's headquarters in Paris to begin the implementation of the first prototype of the ARCOMEM system. During 2011, the consortium designed a high-level architectural view of the ARCOMEM platform, where a distributed crawler is guided by fast analysis modules that use data computed during a slower batch processing stage. The guiding of the crawler we call the online phase, and the slower batch processing stage we call the offline phase. In Paris, we convened the first of these extreme programming meetings, and the main goals were to brainstorm, design and then implement the online phase that would guide a crawler. During the online phase, the crawler places crawled web objects into a distributed column-oriented database called an HBase. Each insertion is processed by the analysis modules in the online phase, either at the time of insertion or during a later map-reduce job. The application-aware helper detects commonly used web applications so it can annotate pertinent parts of the document. The text analyzers extract keywords and named entities from the text. The link analyzer detects links that are unlikely to lead to information, for example, advertisement links. The relevance scorer scores or blacklists the outlinks from a web object based on previous analyses and the similarity of the extracted information to the crawl specification. The outlink scores are used to update the crawler's priority queue, thereby guiding the crawl. We set about implementing the design, and in just 5 days we ended up with a working implementation of the online phase. This was tested using a mock-up crawler and some carefully constructed mock-up web pages. 2 months later, we again converged in Hanover and had another hackathon where we set about designing and implementing the offline phase. The offline phase is a batch processing of the contents of a guided crawl, and we were able to leverage Hadoop, the platform on which HBase runs, to provide distributed analysis of the data. Offline analyzers are implemented as map-reduce tasks, and the ARCOMEM framework allows them to be choreographed in a configurable way. Some analyzers, like the text processing, may be reduce heavy, that is, most of the processing takes place in the reduce phase, whereas others, like the image processing, may be map heavy, where the majority of the processing takes place in the map tasks. After just 2 long days of programming, we managed to build a basic working implementation of the offline phase for text and image analysis. This was consolidated in another hackathon in Southampton, where the framework was extended to allow the offline modules to communicate with RDF triple stores. Also, for the first time, we integrated both the Internet Memory Foundation crawler and an adapted Heritrix crawler with the online phase code. A crawler for accessing social web APIs like the YouTube and Twitter APIs has also been integrated with the framework. This delivers structured data to a triple store and web objects like tweets and user comments to the HBase. As of May 2012, version 1 of the system has been released as an open source bundle with source code and user documentation. Running the various parts of the system still requires good knowledge of the command line tools, so we intend to make the next versions a little easier to configure and execute. Subsequent versions of the system are due to be released at regular intervals. Check the ARCOMEM website for the release schedule.